everyone, and welcome to Roundtable Wrestling. I am one of your distinguished hosts, Brent the Nightmare Ward. Of course, joined with us today, Keith Wildman Miller.
Hey.
And of course, Pablo Kino Aquino.
How you doing?
Good. How are you all today?
I'm good, man. Just ready to kick this thing off.
Yeah, this is our very first episode. So special thanks to our producer / editor, Tyler Martin, and graphics designer, Jay Sizzle for Rizzle.
My nizzle.
Yes. Yeah, for Rizzle. Please don't forget to hit and like that follow button, as we are a fresh new podcast, and we are going to kick this thing off with some good stuff. We have a great show lined up this week as we touch on Bash in Berlin winners and grades, as well as all the latest news and in-ring action from this past week. So, without further ado, let's kick it off with Bash in Berlin winners and grades.
Yeah.
So,
you can do
great. It was a pretty decent pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, my biggest thing about it, I don't think anything that I think everyone knew what was going to happen, and there was not a surprise. Like, it's a very predictable pay-per-view, so that's kind of disappointing. But the only thing that was sort of up in the air was Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure where they were going to go with that, but the rest of it, pretty much
yeah. Everything was cut and dry. Like there was nothing left to the imagination. There was no way Gunther was going to lose. There was no way Damian and Rhea Ripley were going to lose to Dom.
Yeah.
Cody wasn't. We already knew. Yeah, we already knew that Kevin Owens knew he wasn't beating Cody.
Yeah.
But even I think even with WrestleMania, the only real swerve. Oh no, not WrestleMania. Was it Backlash the last time that Punk fought Drew? I don't remember.
Yes. No. SummerSlam. Right? Yeah, SummerSlam.
Okay, I'm sorry. SummerSlam. Okay. Yeah, because I went to the build for that and all of that, and I forgot. Yeah. That was the only one that was really like a swerve where I was like, whoa, the guy that I thought was going to lose didn't.
Right. Yeah, every SummerSlam match was pretty predictable, I suppose, but
I think that's a little bit of the issue that I have. It's like there's no. It's weird.
Yeah. I had hope for some of the SummerSlam matches, but on this card, it was just like I thought maybe Damian Priest would win and they'd stretch the Judgment Day thing out. You know what I mean? I thought, there was a few spots where I was like, maybe this won't go the way that it actually went, but on this, it was pretty obvious. As much as I didn't want Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to get the belts back, I knew they were going to. I love Unholy Union. Those girls are special, man, and it sucks.
Do I. And I was really disappointed with that because they've been like switching them back and forth with the titles for the past month and a half.
Right.
And I'm like, make up your minds, WWE.
So Triple H said in the press conference, that they didn't put the belts on those girls because they were in Scotland or Ireland, wherever it was.
Right.
Ireland.
Oh, 100%. That's the reason why they dropped it where they did. Is because they wanted to give a rub to the Unholy Union. What was it? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Yep.
They wanted to bring, it's just the same thing with where, Gunther was going to be the champion going into Bash of Berlin. I think everybody knew that. Yeah.
Right.
Same way, WWE always tries to give a rub, like they did the thing with Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. They did the thing with Jinder when they tried to open up the India market and made Jinder champion. It's just pandering to a side, like either a hometown pandering or a sort of like regional pandering. It's the same thing. It's every company does,
Honestly, I liked the idea of you don't put the hometown people over. Piss the fans off.
Absolutely.
Logan Paul isn't nearly like that because he got punished. So that's
Yeah.
why they didn't have him win at home.
Right.
Right.
But
Well,
even that, like back in the day, you would have thought, oh, it's a foregone conclusion. Logan Paul's going to win at home.
yeah. The Miz didn't win in Cleveland a lot.
No, never.
Well, he is also the most
Just
losing WWE superstar of all time. So
yeah. The Miz is awesome for that. I mean, for a guy whose gimmick is that he has a huge ego, the guy clearly has no ego.
No, not at all.
Does the job.
Mhm.
But
well, he always likes to get poked fun at. That's why he works
Yeah.
with R-Truth well, because he's like the
He's a prankster,
polar opposite. Like he's a jokester who wants to be taken seriously.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
And for
But I
that,
think,
I'll
yeah.
always be I always like the Miz for that, because he is a performer.
Right.
but I do think that this was a wash of a pay-per-view, to be honest, as far as
Yeah.
like it didn't create new storylines. It just kind
Nope.
of
Right.
hopped on top of another one and just
Yeah.
kind of rode the back of others. It was like, yeah, they're still doing the Priest and Dominic thing, to my chagrin, because that means that Damian Priest is not going to be able to do anything title
Yeah.
wise.
Damian
Right.
Priest is not going anywhere near the world title again for a while.
Right.
I don't think ever. I
Yeah.
actually think that
Yeah,
this was
probably
his
not.
swan song. I think he's in his 40s right now, and
Yeah.
Right.
they wanted to give him a run. They wanted to see how he would do. It's kind of like a feeler out type thing, to be like, okay, let's see if we catch fire. Let's get him to go to Yankee Stadium with the title. Let's get him to do the Puerto Rican Day Parade with the title.
Right,
Let's get him out here and giving more rub to his community, or like shout out, him and Karrion Kross, some Boricuas from New York. Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Karrion Kross is next with the title, but
Right.
I wish. He's
I don't know, man.
They
I love them in EC3's company, man.
Yes.
The little
Oh,
bit
sure.
that I watched of that, they were kind of the highlights of it. That company was so weird. Did you guys watch any of that?
The Control Your Narrative, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it, very
actually.
little.
It was very much like Lucha Underground, in that it was like a movie with wrestling in it.
Okay.
Okay. They had trailers for the wrestlers, and Karrion Kross and Scarlett had the coolest trailer. Like, it looked like something out of the Devil's Rejects. But yeah, there was a segment. Like, I only watched it a couple of times, but there was a segment where EC3 would like rally the troops in like this dirty like, it looked like an old boxing gym or something. And he's like, I don't know. He's like yelling at everybody about how they're there to.
It's very Lucha. Very Lucha.
Yeah. It was very much like Lucha Underground.
Grungy look.
Yeah.
What I think, though, is that I can't get this out of my head, though, but I saw a meme, like an image that said Final Testament has 2 managers and neither of them talk, and I can't get that out of my head.
You're right.
That's hilarious.
Like you bring in Paul Ellering as the handler, and shout out to Paul Ellering, family friend. But the fact that it's I want them to be good.
Yeah.
I just don't see how they can.
Yeah, I know, and it's sad because
they're just getting fed to the Wyatt Six at some point.
Well, APA, they've been around for what, 5 years or so, and haven't done squat.
AOP?
Yeah, AOP. My bad.
I was about to say, did you say APA?
The APA was around for a long time, man.
Yeah.
I was going to say
they kicked a lot of ass, dude.
They did.
They played cards too.
Yeah,
they did.
Was good at it.
And drank beer and smoked cigars
But yeah, AOP has been around for 4 or 5 years and has they made them out to be some kind of big badass tag team, and they haven't done
NXT
shit.
Gold, the black and gold NXT, they did a good job in making their tag teams look strong,
Yeah, and NXT. So many of the guys who get called up from NXT end up failing. It's irritating.
The talking aspect. It's the fact that like NXT, you can hide behind your good wrestling prowess. You don't have to have a Johnny Gargano segment every week. You could just have him do a 5-star match and not have to speak on the mic, and you could have Andrade be menacing with Zelina next to him, and you can have freaking, you could hide Big Kaz behind Enzo and make them a big thing.
Right.
They were just doing it well as far as like, but with the WWE, you have to be all of those things. You have to be a Kevin Owens. You have to be good in the ring and good in the mic, and you have to be funny, and you have to be serious. You have to be able to be taking, believable as a heel and a face. And if you're not all those perfect things, and you're by the wayside, and you see that all the time. Like AOP, I thought was great. Like I thought about managing them one day, and I thought that would have been cool.
Right.
But it's just that, like the big hulky tag teams, they're kind of gone now.
Yeah.
Sure. You're seeing them go fast. They're not, the Bludgeon Brothers, rest in peace, obviously, to Brody Lee, but like the Heavy Machinery, the Viking Raiders, all of them. It's just those big bulky teams that they're gone.
Yeah, and the Viking Raiders were super special.
I love the
the Viking experience.
Are you experienced?
Are you experiencing it?
Yeah, but the
stuff finisher or is it the name?
Nuts, I mean, it was just
For me, it's those knees that Eric does, man. He's just wicked nasty.
Who opened New Mercy? That was a tag match, right?
Yeah.
No Mercy. Who's that's an NXT one now, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the Chase U guy. Yeah.
I got some words about Chase U, considering that one of them made a TNA appearance. There was actually a TNA within the last 2 weeks. There was a pay-per-view as well.
Yeah, and then there was also NXT too. If I'll tell you what, man, if Ridge Holland had touched Thea Hale, it would have been over.
Oh, it would have been. Oh yeah, it would have been.
I was like,
he would have got so much heat.
Oh man,
lift her up by her like,
I thought he was
something like that, and shake her until she goes passes out.
Did you see her face when the crowd was chanting "one more time"?
Yeah.
She's so good at that. Like the facials and stuff. She's so good at that. But
I was gonna say that's a poor choice of words.
Oh, dude. I mean, facial expressions. Facial expressions, sir.
But I like a good spa day more than anybody, but
hey now. But
she did grow on me. I thought she was just like cringe, and she was like Thea Hale. I thought she was very gimmicky, like very just like that annoying girl in school that won't stop yapping. But she actually is growing on me with her ability to actually like act.
Yeah. That's Maddie now, but the difference is Maddie is so good at everything.
Oh yeah.
Maddie, I keep forgetting Ren. I will call her Ren from now on. Ren Sinclair. That's Ren her Sinclair, now. Yeah, she's like she's the annoying girl now, but she's so good. Like it.
Like
her personality, her acting is so. If you want to call it that, like her charisma is off the charts, man. That girl is.
Yep.
I'm glad that they made her a heel.
Yeah, it's about time
that they found something for her to do on TV. She's too good to get lost, in my opinion.
She's definitely someone who can get to the main
roster. Yeah,
well, I feel like a lot of the good ones are the ones that get lost in the fray.
No, Tyler Breeze, man. I thought for sure Tyler Breeze was going to be Shawn Michaels, and he got called up.
Same, but he was.
He was so good in NXT.
They killed him.
Well, I think it started with Liger.
The whole Vince too.
Yeah. Well, why do you bring in a freaking 50-year-old legend to lose to your 20-something-year-old guy who's been having 5-star matches all year? I mean, to beat
you're not going to push him.
Beat your guy. To beat your guy.
Yeah.
Like Liger beat him in that big New York City show.
Yeah.
It was like supposed to be Tyler Breeze's biggest match. And he's all, I'm not worried about him. I'm going to beat him. And then he lost. and it killed his momentum. You know,
Well,
it
the
really,
pretty
really
boy
did.
gimmick that he did with Dango, who's now
Yeah,
JDC, but
right.
that whole thing where they put these smaller guys in a box and they like
Yeah,
suffocate them until their push is absolutely ruined. You know,
yeah,
if they were to have one,
Right.
because
yeah.
dang, him and I forgot what they were called, but like they were the first pretty deadly, but like they were actually real big.
Oh, Fashion
Then they
Police,
went
right?
back
Isn't
down
that
to
what they?
NXT. The Breezango, is
Yeah,
that what they're called? The
Yeah.
Breezango.
Breezango at one point.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they changed their name to Fashion Police.
Yep.
They made them
And then they were
models
doing those
and changed their name
gimmicks.
to Fashion Police. They were wearing like
The
halter
cop
tops that looked
uniform.
like cop uniforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
Mace
lord.
Mansoor angle that they're still going with now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so silly.
So
I do
Cringy. Oh
like
my
Pretty Deadly a
days.
lot though.
yeah, they could
I
be a
think
good
those
tag
They're
skits are
team.
funny.
good.
So let's kick
Yes.
off. Let's speed through this Bash Berlin since it was
Yeah.
a
Oh,
you
I
know,
did want to say what my point was in bringing up the opening match, though. They did the Doomsday Device.
Mhm.
And just
yes.
think of big burly
Ooh,
tag teams made me think about the opening match, and then that made me think about the Doomsday Device. So that was why
the
I brought
Creed
that up.
brothers do the the Creed brothers do something like close to
Kind of
that, where he
similar.
does like a
Yeah.
What do they do with the
cannonball.
Doomsday Device type thing? Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's like
So
a
is it like the
makeshift
Rougeaus? Is
doomsday
it like the Bombs
device.
Away?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, where
Like a
who's
cannonball
the
almost.
burlier one? Is it Brutus or Julius? That's the
I'm
like the
not sure
stockier
about
one.
those guys, honestly.
Brutus is the
He
big one.
jumps and literally like he holds himself and cannonballs into another guy and then kind of does like a
Interesting.
makeshift doomsday device.
Cool.
They're good.
All right,
Yeah.
so
But
our
yeah, Bash of
first
Berlin. Let's get through it.
yep.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
match was the Undisputed Championship KO versus Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody Rhodes wins.
Yeah.
Match
Good
was pretty
match.
good. Yeah, I gave it an A.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they stole the freaking they stole the MJF thing. MJF and Osprey.
Yep, they
You
sure
know?
did.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just
Yeah.
complete
Stole it. It just happened.
so word
You
for
know what I
word,
mean?
bar for bar.
Just happened. But you know,
Mhm.
that's
Where
the
he
first thing
wouldn't
I
do a
thought of.
move. He's like,
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
oh, we
so
can't do it. Just like Will Ospreay.
mhm.
But still a
Yeah, he
decent match.
cost
art
himself.
imitates life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the fact that, everybody and their mother knew that he was just being fed.
Yeah.
I like how they tried to make the angle work where they're like, no, I respect you. And because I respect you, you're going to be who I face before I eventually
And
face
I was
then,
somebody that's more or less realistic in that point.
right.
I was personally looking for Cody to turn heel.
Oh, man.
He did a good
Oh no,
spot.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's
I
still
don't think
messing with the
that's
bloodline, so
Yeah.
right. It
he'll
screw up everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Or was
exactly.
waiting
Like
for
I don't think
Kevin
he'll
just to
ever.
snap.
I think he'll have the John Cena disease. I Kevin
Yeah.
Owens, I just expect will snap at some point again because he's just so good at a heel that
He was
he has to
close.
just always
Right.
be in limbo. He always has to go back and forth. Yeah, he was close, but yeah,
Yeah. I
for
think
what it looks
people
like
expected it.
from yesterday. I was gonna say from yesterday, it looks like Cody and the Bloodline are gonna be going. Interesting what happened yesterday, but let's get back to the
Yeah.
task at hand,
That's
and then
Berlin.
we can mention that later. What was the next match?
It was Bianca and Jade Cargill taking on the Unholy Union. With Bianca and Jade winning the
Yeah.
tag titles.
It was what was expected. I love the Unholy Union. I'm unhappy about it. I think they could have
Same.
done so much
Yeah.
more with them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that with them beating Damage Control,
Mhm.
maybe they'll get the
They'll get
belts
back
back.
into
But
something.
yeah, I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, it was a pretty
I
decent
just
match. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
this is the weird thing about this sort of union, right? They call them the unholy union, but this quote unquote holy union of Bianca and Jade. It's like no match I see them in is ever going to be believable enough because of how menacing they look.
Right.
Like when they were fighting Damage Control in WrestleMania, I was like, this is snooze because like they're just trying to make it look legitimate and they're just making Bianca take all the bumps because they know Jade has to look strong.
Can't bump.
Yeah.
And also can't bump.
Yeah.
No, she can't.
I think that when you have someone as talented as Io Sky in a match, it can always be believable because she can use her wrestling prowess and her speed and stuff. And I feel
But
like
the other two, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar, honestly, with Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Well, Kairi Sane is she was a world beater out in Japan. She's prettiest elbow drop, literally. Asuka's strong. Dakota Kai, more of a mouthpiece, but very unbelievable in the ring, if I'm being honest.
I love Dakota Kai. So here's the thing about Dakota Kai. When she's in the ring, she looks awkward, which for some reason with her, I like it. Like the way she kind of flails around and stuff. I don't know if she does it on purpose to be dramatic or if she actually, her mechanics are bad. Like that's,
But I think it might be the latter.
I like watching her. Yeah, I like watching her though. So I don't know, but she's gone again anyway. Like she re-injured her knee, right? So she's gone again for
later.
Yeah.
So she's going to still be the mouthpiece of this.
She hasn't been on TV since she hurt herself again. I mean, so
okay. Because I'm trying to figure out
just hanging out with Selena on Twitch.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to make in this Triple H led regime, right? Because we knew what Vince McMahon wasn't willing to do with his international stars, but considering Triple H has always loved Asuka, and I want to see what he's going to do for these international stars that don't speak English as well, and how he's going to make them relevant, like Shinsuke having been buried all year.
Right.
Andrade, how do you get him to be relevant? I see what they're doing with him, and I kind of like it. It's like an old school build where they they have like a promo here and a match there and then a promo here and less about
I have no idea
actually letting them speak their national language.
Right.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see that.
Yeah, I had no idea Julia's English was so bad.
Oh no, she's Italian, Japanese, and
Japanese. Yeah, her English is terrible.
She speaks both way better. Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. She's so good.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do with that?
Amazing.
Like, she's beautiful and she's so good, but her English is.
Oh, they'll have.
That was the thing with.
Give it 6 months.
That was the thing with. Oh yeah, for sure. But that was the thing with Asuka. That was the thing with Asuka is that she was so good, and I think she's beautiful as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that they just made her a world beater, where she was like, you know what, I don't even need to speak.
Right.
I'm just gonna say the name of the pay-per-view. I'm gonna learn it like the day before and say the name of the pay-per-view. Exactly.
Yep.
I always jump when she talks because it's like, dear God.
She's like yelling at me. I was like,
yeah, what is she doing? Well,
why
are the rumors about her? Are the rumors about her and her twin sister being Asuka, are they true?
I have no idea.
I had no idea that Kana
there's this
had
whole
a sister
thing about that she has a twin sister who also is Asuka. Even in the WWE, like that they were both there.
Dang.
And they would both do matches and stuff. If
that's the case,
yeah.
Is that the one that paints her face fully?
Maybe. I don't know. It's very interesting. I was reading about it on the internet.
Conspiracy theory.
I don't know. One night I got into this whole rabbit hole about it, and it seemed like there's a lot of sources that say it's two different people who play Asuka.
Oh, that's
didn't they say that about
it's two twin sisters?
Didn't they say that about Mr. Warrior?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, they said he was dead.
And then they got
they said he was dead and started wearing a singlet. They're like, hey, if you start wearing a singlet, you've got to be dead. Oh, Chad's here.
Oh man.
Ladies and
Welcome,
gentlemen,
sir.
Chad Big Ton Vandermark.
He's a Chad.
Indeed. So we've
Nice to see you.
taken a half hour so far to go through like 2 matches from Bachelor Berlin because that's how
Yeah.
we do it.
we're getting ready. So I graded Bianca and Jade's tag match against Unholy Union a B plus just because it was rather pacey,
Right.
Mhm.
and it wouldn't have got that far if it wouldn't have been so it was back and forth action, so it kind of it made up for a little bit, but could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What was that? What, the third one, I suppose
That
we're
would
on
be
now?
CM Punk versus Drew.
Oof.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of strat matches. I think they're silly. Like touching the corners to win is silly.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then and then
yeah.
with that CM Punk when he did that where he was being carried, somebody else did that. Eddie Guerrero did that against
They do that in
JBL.
every single strat match in the history of strat matches.
I've seen it
Yeah, like
Every
somebody
single
gets
one.
carried and
every
then the
time.
other
Yeah, and you get
person.
the thing is, usually that's the finish.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
did change that. Usually
Mhm.
it's one person's hitting one, and then when they get to the fourth, the person who's on their back
Mhm.
disables them somehow, and they jump and
Mhm.
hit the fourth one.
I did like
But
the
this
ending.
part,
I
yeah,
did like the
you did?
ending of the match.
Yes, they changed
Okay.
that, but um,
What was the
I
ending
thought it
again?
was right. I don't even remember. I just
He
remember
like
Punk and Drew beating each
he
other
was
up like
he
a
because
lot.
he touch a rope and then it'd pick him up and he'd GTS him, and then he'd go to the
Mhm.
next one, he'd pick him up, GTS him. So
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I like
yeah,
that. I do
it was
like that.
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know why I don't remember
Drag like
that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I saw a funny picture about how they showed that Drew had he had the bracelet in his shorts, and then
Yeah, and he
CM
yeah,
kissed
Punk
it.
puts it on his hand and kisses it, and then
yeah.
they were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I don't know.
I give the match an A just because I like the ending of it, and uh, Punk did get the
Great ending.
bracelet back, but
Now it's
we'll
broken.
The
we'll get
next
into that.
day,
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, that's it's a pretty good match overall. Even though it it was very repetitious of what we've seen in other strap matches.
Yeah, strat matches are always kind of the
Mhm.
same, and that's why I don't really like them that much. But
Yeah.
You see the same thing all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
But
Rinse and repeat.
Drew McIntyre especially is so good. I
Oh,
always look for him to have a good match, regardless of who he's wrestling.
absolutely.
Um,
I don't think Drew's
I
ever
like I,
had really a bad match since he's been back in WWE.
yeah,
From
yeah,
I don't think he's had a bad match since he's been in TNA.
yeah. I mean,
since he was
he's
Drew
had,
Galloway and all that.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what's funny? I was friends with Drew before he got signed on MySpace. Bringing up his last
Oh
name
wow.
just made me think about that. So I was friends with Drew Galloway on MySpace, and I hit him up and I was like, "Hey man, you have a great look, and I've looked up some of your matches and you're pretty good. What do you think the chances are of going to the WWF or WWE? Yeah, WWE." And he said, that's always the goal or something like that. Like it wasn't a big interaction, but we did talk once. It's just funny, like the internet. Uh, Especially back then when it was
MySpace.
newer.
Oh my.
MySpace. You could talk to
Oh my
people
Yeah.
goodness.
and they'd just be like, yeah,
Harvard
man.
connection.
I talked to John Fitch. I don't know if you guys are familiar with UFC
The
stuff at all.
fighter? Yeah,
Yeah.
John Fitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
few conversations with John Fitch on MySpace before he got signed to the UFC.
Nice.
And then even after, I hit him up and asked him about because they were proposing weight class shakeups, and he was 170 at the time. And I
Yeah.
asked him like what he thought about, the weight class stuff that was going on. And he was like, honestly, I'm nervous. Like I like fighting at 170. And if they change the weight classes, it's going to be hard for me. Like it was crazy, dude. Like you could just
I hear that.
reach out to these freaking people and they would actually talk to you.
Yeah.
Now
do that.
everyone's
You
scared of the internet. Now
You
all the
can do
famous
that
people
on
are like,
Instagram, but they don't answer you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Now the famous people are like, "Oh, I'm not talking to you." Like,
I mean,
Because
like
how
on
many DMs you
Instagram,
get? Yeah.
yeah,
like on Instagram, people use that to, um, get bookings and whatnot. And I've tried to book. I can't count how many people for shows that nobody will ever get. Big names will never get back to you.
No, they won't respond.
yeah. A
Unless
lot
you
of
got
big
that
names you have
check
to
mark.
go through their booking agents, unfortunately, which is
Yeah,
irritating.
it
Yeah.
is.
Because anybody can just hit you up and be like, "Oh, you want to work this show?
Right,
There'll be
I
this
mean, I
many
did
people,"
that.
and
I
you
did that
show up
with
into the backyard.
right,
Mhm.
right. Oh man, there was a company back home called Atomic Smashers, I think it was called.
Oh God, I
And
remember that.
yeah, they actually booked. I don't remember who it was, but they booked like a pretty decent name, independent wrestler, and he showed up, and it was these kids, and they were like
Oh god.
wrestling at a birthday party, but they had a ring, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna teach you guys. So he ended up like, they gave him some money, and he taught them all how to be wrestlers, and they started a
Nice.
company called New Millennium Wrestling, which
Nice.
Kevin Dunn.
Mhm.
You remember Dunn and Marcos from Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dunn and Marcos were part of that, and honestly, a lot of the early Ring of Honor roster came from that federation.
Oh
So
wow.
it's pretty interesting what they ended up actually turning into,
Yeah.
Ormond Tortuga, like a few of those guys. So it's pretty crazy.
Heck yeah, it
That was
is.
in
That's pretty
Rochester, New
awesome.
York, back home. So
Oh God.
A good old New York.
yeah,
Start spreading the news.
All right,
upstate.
so our fourth match,
Mhm.
the Twin Terrors versus Dom and Liv.
Or the Terror Twins.
Terror Twins. Yep.
That's
I
really
mean,
what they're called.
That's what they're actually calling themselves.
yeah, the Terror
Terror
Against
Twins.
Twins. They're
against
not.
street trash.
They should be called
Yeah.
Street.
Street trash. Oh my god. What is this,
Dom and
Aladdin?
Liv should be called street trash, or at least Dom.
Well, they're the trashy couple.
Yeah,
That's what they
Yeah.
are. They're the trashy prom night
And
couple.
I have a stupid
Right.
question. What does Dom exactly try to accomplish with wearing that stupid shirt tucked into his pants?
He just
it's
wants to
so
be
that he
hated.
can. Yeah, it's so that he can put extra merch, so he can show extra merch.
Yeah.
No, like legitimately, he started doing that so that he could
That's it.
wear like Rhea's merch. You know what I mean? And like he could have a shirt on and another shirt. Like, yeah, he started doing it so that he could like have his homies merch out there with him too when he was wrestling.
Yeah,
So it's actually kind of cool, that he does that to like
help out a little bit.
yeah, buy this track.
But it
But
doesn't hurt. That's the funny thing about Dom is that like he's in the place where he can just take loss after loss and they don't care.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean he's very like I was saying when we were talking. I think we were the ones who were talking about it. Someone said that they weren't sure how good Dominic was. Was that in our chat or was that a different chat?
Oh, that was probably me.
Okay. And what I said is I feel like he's kind of in a place now like Buddy Roberts, where because of his character, like Buddy Roberts and the Freebirds, Buddy Roberts did not win, dude.
No,
Buddy Roberts
no.
took ass kickings
The whole time.
and lost. And Dom is kind of
There's
there
always
too,
the-
like because of his character, he's a coward who talks a lot. He's a big mouth
Yeah, and he
coward.
hides behind this girl.
Yeah, and now he's hiding behind Liv, which isn't really, she's not a
he
great
did that.
shield.
It's even
He
funnier
did
considering.
that same thing. He did that same thing with Rhea, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he basically let Rhea whoop everybody's ass for him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It was just great seeing Rhea whoop his ass.
Right. But
I
think
Liv
Dom
lets
is
them
really,
eat
really
tendies.
good at what he does and what he needs to do.
Oh yeah.
So, in my
He's
opinion,
definitely
Dom is
gotten a
good.
lot better.
He
I mean,
is a
that's
heat magnet.
yeah.
Yes.
Magnet.
Yep.
He's definitely a heat magnet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
he,
know.
Liv.
he can sell the
Liv
heat.
Morgan's playing into it well.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Liv Morgan is so trashy. Her voice is so ridiculous. And those
and then
jeans that she was wearing with the cutout sections, those were dope.
Well, The fact that they play off of it on Twitter and all of that, and
right,
how
right.
Dom was saying, "Oh, you're mean to me," and she lets me eat chicken tendies.
Yeah, that match was kind of
See,
slow
that's
at
the thing,
first.
though. On Twitter, Dominic is playing more up to it. But when earlier the Judgment Day days with Rhea, he was like supposed to be a heel, but yet on TV or on Twitter, he was talking about getting engaged and all that. You can't do that stuff. You can't try and act like
Well,
a.
I
Well, that's a
think
back of
breaking
the day thing
kayfabe.
now.
I think breaking kayfabe when you're getting married is different.
Yeah.
Rhea did it too. Like she totally posted pictures of her and Buddy, and like when they were on
Yeah,
their
they
honeymoon.
literally.
Speaking of, I have a
Yeah.
dumb question. Maybe somebody knows. I heard that Buddy,
Matthews,
yeah, him,
Yeah.
got in trouble
formerly
because
Buddy Murphy.
he lied to AEW management. He went to a family reunion. He said he was going to a family reunion, but he went that was the weekend of his wedding to Rhea, so he was getting married to Rhea, but he said he was going to he told Tony that he needed time off to go to a family reunion, but he went to go get married to Rhea instead.
I can't imagine
I don't.
that would be a problem.
Yeah,
I
why
can't
would you not
imagine
be
it
You
allowed?
either.
know.
Yeah, why would you not just say you're getting married? Like that
Exactly.
sounds
That's
like
what I was
something.
thinking.
That sounds like something that
That's
somebody just made up.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy into that
I
too
wouldn't.
much.
Believe me.
I wouldn't give that
Believe,
much credence. Yeah.
well, believe me,
Yeah.
Buddy Matthews has an outstanding relationship with Tony Khan.
Yeah,
They just gave
Does he?
because for sure, because he was actually
You got a new
thinking
contract, yeah.
yeah, he was contemplating on going back to WWE.
right.
So
They just gave him a boatload of money.
and he's like, they gave me a contract I couldn't refuse.
Right.
So they obviously like him.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's
I
fine.
liked him too. I thought he was a great wrestler. I thought they
absolutely.
That
underutilized the
tag
heck out
team,
of him.
man. Didn't we talk about the tag team that he was in on this
Blake and
podcast
Murphy.
before? Or
Yeah.
not this podcast, but
Yeah.
Blake
the
and
other
Murphy?
one.
the other one.
The other one.
Yeah.
Blake and
That shall
Murphy
not be named.
Yeah, it's so good. Blake and Murphy were so good.
with Alexa.
And
Oh,
then,
they were
Yeah,
he was,
loved it.
Oh yeah,
Loved it.
with Alexa right there.
Yeah.
What was it? Then after that, he was a disciple, right?
Yeah, with
With
Seth Rollins.
With Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
I missed that,
him
but-
with that cruiserweight championship run, back when they had the cruiserweight championship.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The man was a killer. Him and Cedric Alexander putting
Oh,
on
both
like
those
him
guys.
and Mustafa Ali. Like
Yeah,
they were just
Cedric
Ooh,
Alexander's good.
I love Cedric.
He's a great talent.
but yeah.
He
Cedric's
is.
a
But the
great
fact that they
talent.
made both of them like the lackeys of a faction.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
sure
And I'm
did.
like, what the heck?
I mean,
Like he's
basically, Ced was a lackey in MVP's crew too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Cedric, yeah, that's what I was talking about. The
Yep.
hurt business. He
Hurt
was
Business.
pretty
Yeah.
much
Right.
their he was their
They're-
Dominic, their JD McDonough, and
Yeah.
then Buddy
They're
Matthews, same
supposed they're
thing.
supposed
Even
to
in the
show up
House
in
of Black,
they're supposed to show up in AEW.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
who is
The Hurt
Hurt
Business.
Lashley?
Hurt Business. Yeah. Hurt
Yeah.
Business.
I'm not against it. I think
Yeah.
as faction heavy as they are, I wouldn't
Right.
mind one like them.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
It's
look
all
like
of them,
bad
I
there.
Attitude
think-
Era WWE.
I think it's supposed to be MVP, Lashley, Cedric, and Shelton, right?
And Shelton,
Yeah. And Shelton.
all four of them. I wouldn't be against that. Maybe pick up Gable Stevenson got cut from the Bills. So maybe he needs a job.
He
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
he did. I didn't know that. I'm not that didn't kind of doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah, he went out to be a lineman for
Yeah.
after he failed
he got-
at what he was doing.
And then he got cut. He was trying to try out for Buffalo.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
he got
know.
cut,
I knew
yeah.
he was trying to try out, but I didn't know he got cut.
Yeah, he was part of the 53-man roster cuts. So
Yep.
So maybe he'll come up and Oh yeah, let's continue. Let's continue.
More wrestling? Okay.
Yes.
Fi-
more
fi-
wrestling.
The main event of the night was Randy Orton versus Gunther. Of course, we all knew that Randy couldn't pull it off just because Gunther
Junta
fresh title reign. He's going to have it for a while.
in Berlin.
Yeah.
Match gets an A, but
But there's a babyface now, apparently.
Apparently, and I'm like,
Is he? No, he was
What
in
happened?
Germany. He was always going to be in Germany. But
oh yeah,
this is the
but
thing with the Randy Orton thing, right? Obviously, we were talking before. We were talking about how it was like cut and dry what was going to happen. It was like foregone conclusions, right?
Right.
I like Randy Orton's thing, right? He was like, okay, you're becoming a legend. I'm the legend killer. You have to
Yeah.
fight me. Legitimizing him does nothing to Randy Orton.
Mm-mm.
Also,
Randy
you
Orton.
know, like it was a surmountable task. Like it was another road on his, you know, because every story, every like title reign, I see as like a it's supposed to be like an anime's like hero arc, you know, like it shows, okay, I
Right.
surmounted this odds. I did this.
Right.
I did this to get here and now I've done this, you know, like how Cody Rhodes. But I think I like Gunther's first title defense being against Randy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who he faces after. I didn't look.
Sami Zayn, man.
into
Sami
it.
Zayn.
Oh yeah, oh, okay. No, I do remember the promo.
We
I do
talked
remember
about
the
that.
promo.
Like,
Okay.
you know, I already beat you. Now I'm going to beat you again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already
Yeah.
talked.
And not really beat him.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't-
he's not going to beat him.
No,
he's like the only. Is he the only person to beat Gunther clean?
yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, that's a big hook. You know.
He beat Braun
Yeah.
Breaker clean too.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
so,
Yeah.
So hey,
And
you
just
know,
the way he got decimated by
I'm
Braun
sorry,
Breaker the
Braun
second time,
Breaker
he's going to
just-
get decimated.
Braun
Yeah.
Breaker is just Scotty Steiner Jr. to me.
and Scott
Well,
Steiner
yeah,
was awesome.
Rick's,
Yeah.
So
Rick's son, but
yeah, he's Rick's son, but he wrestles more like Scott because he's more athletic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
sounds like Scott too. Like listen to
Bad.
his voice. Like
Like,
he,
yeah, it sounds like him badly.
But I like it though. I think it's funny because like when he was part of that tag team, it was more like a funny tag team. They were
Breaker's an
serious,
animal.
but like
Yeah.
he's
Who
good,
were they
man.
setting
He's
Breaker
good,
up
I
with?
think.
I saw they were setting him up with somebody on Monday, but I can't remember who now.
Wait,
Oh, they're doing the tournament gimmick.
yeah, they're doing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tournament
Mhm.
gimmick. I don't even
Right.
know who's in that.
It's gonna be
tournament.
him and Jay Uso. It's gonna be him and Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Calling it now.
Yeah. I
don't-
just think Strowman winning after the win that they gave him, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and Breaker and oh man, who's the guy with the hair that's crazy? The European
The
guy.
hair, that's crazy.
Ludwig
That was in the
Kaiser?
match. He was in the match with Dragon Lee and Dominic.
Ilya?
Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, like any of those guys could have
He
a
can
great
go.
match with Dom or with
Oh, yeah.
with Braun.
By the way,
LeBron.
Yeah.
By the way, if I could mention this flat out, Joe Tessitore ruined his first day.
I hate Joe Tessitore. He needs to get out of my
I
The
don't
company.
fact
even
that
know.
he-
I don't
he
even know why
knows-
they brought him in, dude. I really
Let's
don't.
let's
That-
let's listen
No,
to
they
this really
needed
quick,
a new
right?
lead announcer because Cole was doing too much.
Yeah, but he was doing double duty too
So
much.
where's-
He
I
wanted to do
mean-
one thing. So Tessitore's on Raw, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting ready to
Cole's
jump
going to
into
SmackDown.
some real
And
news
Cole's
here.
going to SmackDown. Okay.
So here's
But
my thing.
can I
Here-
mention though?
yeah.
I was gonna say, it was probably the worst no call. He no called a Torpedo Moscow. He had no idea it was the Torpedo Moscow.
Oh yeah.
Ilya won, and like he was like shoulder. It's like a shoulder, was shoulder
Yeah.
bump or whatever they call
Right.
it.
Shoulder tackle.
Shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoulder tackle. He's like shoulder tackle, and like no enthusiasm at all.
No,
like
none
he
at all.
he had no idea that was the finish. He had no idea that was the finish.
He definitely
And
needs
completely
to.
took all the.
I don't
he
even
needs
know.
to learn.
I don't even know why
Yeah.
they brought somebody from ESPN in who doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
I
This is
always
the
do
thing,
that.
though. He's a
always do
boxing guy. He's
Yep,
a boxing
boxing
guy, and the UFC's WWE merger type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all trying to be in bed with each other. So bringing
Yep.
somebody a big name like him, because Mauro Ranallo is also a boxing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Announcer,
Boxing
but
MMA.
they're not
Mia!
gonna
Yeah,
get him
but
again.
Ronaldo
They're
is
not gonna
much
get him
better
again.
than Tessitore. I would have brought him
Oh,
back, but he's
100%.
not gonna do anything because
Mhm.
JBL was
I
obviously
want
Yeah.
JBL.
His anxiety issues, I think, are too much for him to ever go back to the WWE.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
he
saw
has
that,
a lot
yeah.
of mental health issues, and that
Mhm.
being in WWE kind of jacked him up on him. So I don't think he's ever going to go back.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this though.
His documentary though. I'm sorry.
I did not.
I did not see it. Is that why you know? Yeah.
No. I actually
and had like a few other things.
I had a conversation with Sheldon Goldberg about it, or not Sheldon Goldberg, Bob McGee. Yeah, I had a conversation with Bob McGee about it because I was going through some mental health stuff. And he told me, because I'm in the wrestling business, or at least I was at the time, like more involved in it. He told me that I should reach out to Mauro because he's very like open about his struggles and that he went through a lot of the same stuff that I did, and I should talk to him. And I legitimately can't remember if I talked to him or not, to be completely honest, because the conversation with Bob McGee actually helped me a lot. So
you should watch that documentary if anybody wants to see a documentary about Mauro Ranallo. It was during the time he was doing the NXT.
Yeah, I remember the documentary, but I never saw it.
Yeah, I never watched it either.
I think it was good. Yeah. It was talking about the fact that I believe he's bipolar. And there's like certain things that he has to go through, and like he prepares.
I go through the same
really
thing because I recently just got diagnosed with bipolar amongst other things. So
it's
probably
uphill,
watch it,
especially for him. He talked about having to travel as much as he did and being but he was a student to the game, and I appreciate that. But like Tessitore, he needs to get in there. He actually apologized the day after.
Really? Wow.
Because he got a lot of backlash, probably because of that no call. That's a huge no call.
That is.
Like, completely took the air out of the match, the end of the match.
Yeah. So one thing that I do want to say though, Michael Cole. When Michael Cole first started commentating, everyone hated him. I don't remember who he replaced, but was it JR?
It was Jim Ross.
People were just like, "Oh, bring JR back. This Michael Cole guy sucks." When Coach first started announcing, or when Coach first started doing commentary, everybody hated Coach.
Yep.
People didn't like Jesse and Vince either. People didn't like Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon together back then either.
Byron Saxton, Byron Saxton. Everybody hated Byron Saxton.
Everybody still hates Michael Cole because
but people don't.
And everybody else, or not everybody, but a lot of people say he's the GOAT, and he's definitely not the GOAT.
Jim Ross.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, people don't hate him. There's tons of people. Well, to my point, there's tons of people now who think Michael Cole is the greatest commentator of all time. Sure. There are people who think that Coach is one of the best color commentators of all time. Regardless of how they look on their first night or even their first year.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you get on the job and you get your reps in and you prove yourself,
you can get better.
Yeah.
You get better. People do. Yeah. The only person who I can think of who really got praised from the minute they started commentating was Pat McAfee. People love that freaking guy, dude.
He's a natural.
He's a natural.
People
that's
love
the thing
Pat
about
McAfee.
Tessitore, though. That's the thing about Tessitore is that Tessitore has been the #1 boxing announcer for at least 2 decades. Right.
Well, boxing and wrestling are a different thing, It's a different thing, man. That's
But that's the thing about it, though. That's the thing about it is that you bring in a wrestler or somebody who's big in wrestling, so you don't have to deal with things like that.
I feel it. Yeah.
Like, does he know the name? Does he know what a gut wrench suplex is? Does he know what a pump handle slam is? Does he know what what a tree of woe position is? Like all that stuff, it's like
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, and here's some interesting news though that I found this week. Victoria and Melina both signed legend contracts. Look for them to be in the next set of video games.
I knew about Victoria, but I didn't know anything about
Melina signed too. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. It just means that they can get in the Hall of Fame and,
Jesse's
whatever
about to sign too, I think.
With Eminem?
Yeah.
Where is she? Because I know she was
or as a lady
champion,
wrestler. I mean, she could just go in as a lady wrestler,
Yeah,
I don't think she would. I don't think she'd go in.
Victoria going, but not Melina.
Yeah. Right. Well, Coco Beware's in, dude.
If he can get in.
Okay.
Every time someone's like, "Oh, I don't think they can get," they had a Hall of Fame career. I'm like, "Well, Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame, man."
The Hall of Fame is BS anyway.
It's a little bit of a joke. It's a publicity thing, like Snoop Dogg and Trump or
to me, it's just
Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali.
But Demolition isn't.
Right.
One of the greatest
Well,
tag
yeah,
teams of all
because they're
time.
part. That's because they're part of that big old CTE thing.
Yep.
There's this whole big list I used to have. I can't remember where it is now, but I used to have this big list of people that should be in the Hall of Fame, but they're not because they were all part of that lawsuit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now that the old man is gone, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe some of them will get in.
Let
Right.
him in. Alexa Bliss set to return at the Royal Rumble.
Hey, now let's see if it happens.
How are they going to force her?
Speaking of the Royal Rumble, supposed to be in Indiana, Keith.
It's February 2nd. February 2nd in Indianapolis.
I want to go. So
I already
bad.
looked up. There's people who I don't know if they have reserved tickets or what, but they're already reselling them, and the resale prices aren't terrible. So we'll see what happens in October. Like if I go to the Rumble, I want to get decent seats. A buddy of mine wants to go too, and he said he doesn't care if he has to sit like up in the nosebleeds, but I'm not doing that. Like,
dude, if
last
you
time
go,
I was at SummerSlam.
If you go, you need to tell me because I'm going to be there.
All right, cool. I will for sure, man.
They said if we can all go, we can set up shop and do a podcast while we're there.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Bronson Reed is missing action due to he has COVID.
Freaking COVID.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
COVID
no, they did mention that actually. They mentioned that on TV, I believe.
Yeah.
That he had COVID.
CM Punk is leading the merchandise sales in the company right now.
What else?
Of course.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Odyssey Jones was fired after alleged domestic violence allegations.
Oh, that's why?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why.
Oh my goodness. I thought that they were just scrapping his angle with the New Day.
No, it was like domestic violence.
By the way, I thought that whole thing sucked, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
it was
now. In hindsight, I think it did suck, but
yeah,
I don't think New Day was happy with it. You know what I mean?
No,
New Day.
Yeah, they don't want to break up. Kofi and Xavier Woods have way too much fun together. I don't think they are even remotely interested in not being a team.
Xavier was pissed. I know that.
Yeah.
No, they're talking about that they're going to retire as a fact because there's so many, and they even had a promo about how they're like, all these teams have ended up breaking up. We're going to be together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I was going to say I'm sorry. You were going to come up with some news.
Yes. Bret the Hitman Hart is making his return to WWE this Monday night for the season premiere of Monday Night Raw.
He's going to hobble out and go, "Hey, I'm Bret Hart. I used to be awesome, and now I'm old." And everyone's going to go, "Yeah!"
Extra Goldberg.
Don't forget Bitter.
Yeah. Oh, he's not. He's bitter as he used to be. You know. I just think it's funny. Like, I'm sorry, maybe. I think it's funny that they get so hyped up about these old guys coming back. It's not like they can have a match.
Right.
You know, it's not the same thing as when The Rock or John Cena comes back because something cool is going to happen. All Bret Hart is going to do is come out and be like, "We're going to Netflix soon." You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big a deal, man.
No,
sorry, this is my opinion, but
I think someone should get put in the sharpshooter. To be honest,
can he even still do a sharpshooter though?
Don't know.
No, he's too old.
Yeah, and if he does put someone in the sharpshooter, it better be the Miz because it won't hurt him.
I think Goldberg should come out and Bret should fuck him up.
Yeah, there you go.
But Goldberg doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to look weak.
Yeah.
Remember, he wouldn't even lose. He wouldn't even lose to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and Bray was on top of the world at that point.
Right.
Which
he had the whole world.
I
do think
if what Goldberg the whole Fiend character with that match.
Yeah.
If
what Goldberg says is true, he was like, "I apologize to Bret Hart for 2 years."
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's like, "How long do you want me to tell you I'm sorry?" He was like, "At this point, fuck Bret Hart." That's literally what he said. To quote Bret Hart, to quote Goldberg, that's what he said.
Well,
DDP said Goldberg didn't do anything wrong, by the way.
Did he? I never knew that.
Yeah, DDP said that it was just one of those things that happens sometimes in wrestling that if you watch it back, Goldberg didn't do anything wrong. Like it just sucks. That's
I
what
don't
DDP
know.
said.
Somewhere.
Someone as good as Bret Hart
Yeah.
isn't just going to make up a story.
Well,
Bret had enough veteran.
I'm on Bret's side considering how stiff Goldberg was and how he is.
I'm sorry, but I'm on
Jade
Bret's
Cargill
side too.
now.
Yeah.
I'm on Bret's side too, and I mean,
but after a while, you gotta just let it go.
So I heard somebody bring up Jade Cargill. She wasn't good in AEW, and I think they're giving her way too much of a push too early in WWE.
I agree.
Well, she's getting a push based on her look, you know.
Yeah,
and
they're also hiding her. They're hiding her in
and they're hiding her in a
tag team.
Yeah, because Bianca Belair should not be in a tag team.
I'm saying,
exactly.
Dude, first of all,
Jade should be in NXT though.
Yeah.
Jade should be in NXT.
1000%.
Jade is a female version of Goldberg. I mean, that's how bad she is.
Yeah. No, 100%. He's right.
I agree.
She is 100%. She is Carberg. I don't even know what to call her.
Carberg.
Like it's wildness. It's
Gold Jade. Gold Jade.
Yeah, when you have that physique. Yeah, exactly. Jadeberg.
Jadeberg.
I think Jadeberg works.
I did want to talk about something from No Mercy because a lot of cool stuff happened on that pay-per-view, to be honest. I did like
NXT No Mercy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No Mercy was really good. The opener, that tag match was off the chain, and people keep on waiting for Frazier and Axiom to break up, and it keeps on being their opponents who break up, which so, you know, I mean, that's such a cool storyline. It's like, oh, they screwed up the kick again, but the Rascals are going to beat each other up, and Chase U is going to turn on each other. Like, I love Chase U, and I really wish that Ridge Holland had stayed on as their enforcer, but
I felt... Yeah, I agree. I feel weird how fast they broke up, though.
Yeah,
it was really quick. Yeah,
how quickly.
Yeah, and the other thing that I want to say
makes me feel like Ridge is on the way out.
No, I think he's on the way up. I think they're just. I think that's what it is. I think you mean on the way out of NXT or like going up to the main roster. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the one thing is he is the guy who retired Big E. So hopefully he's not as sloppy as he used to be.
That's the thing that worries me. It's like, he almost killed Dragunov.
Yeah.
He's the male version of Nia.
Dude, I think Nia's a lot safer than she used to be.
I agree. That I agree with. Watching her,
she's safer than she used to be, but she's just too big.
Yeah. But the other thing that I want to say, like, people are thinking that Julia is just going to come in and it's over for Roxanne. I don't necessarily believe that. Roxanne has been a star in NXT for a couple years, and the girl can talk.
Brent.
She doesn't have bad matches. She can work with any style. Like, she's teeny tiny, and she can work with monsters. She can work with wrestlers. She can work with flyers. I think that if they do have Julia just come in and kill her, that's such a mistake.
Yep.
Like, it's just like I was talking about with Jushin and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah. But no, I agree with the whole Julia because, she's coming in as a world beater, right? But there are so many talented girls, like, does she jump over all of them?
Right.
I don't see many others that are like Roxanne Perez, she just fought Jada Parker, who I think that was she had to qualify even to get the opportunity to fight her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, obviously they're setting her up for the title match. She came right out and challenged.
Yeah.
But I don't think she automatically wins, They don't
want to do another Ethan Page bit where they let him just come in and just beat Swerve and take the titles.
Right. That's silly.
I found that to be really weird, though. I'm still very up in the air about the Ethan Page thing, the all ego.
Yeah.
I'm up in the air as far as him as champion.
Ethan Page is very good. I don't think he has bad matches. Really he's very good.
I'm sorry.
But the way he was thrust.
Trick Williams. It's Trick Williams, my bad.
Trick, yeah. The way he was thrust into it, right? And winning from Trick Williams.
It's weird.
And, Trick ferrying into a Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne is a menace.
Butch
That's because
angle.
Pete Dunne is a menace.
He actually is, you know.
I like Pete Dunne being a menace, though. Just showing up and
It's
causing
funny
chaos. Where'd I go?
It's funny because when I was watching there you are. When I was watching Emergence and the last TNA and all of that, I was thinking about it and I was like, Chaotic Evil, Pete Dunne and Josh Alexander are the same.
Yeah.
They both wear a singlet and they're both chaotic evil. Like they just go out there and just cause absolute nonsense.
I think Keith would love this analogy. So a lot of people have told me that Josh Alexander was the Marty Jannetty of the tag team.
It's funny because let me of the We of the North.
Okay.
That was what they were. I was actually going to get to that during his sleep break, aka our TNA segment. But it's funny because I thought Josh Alexander to be the lesser of the two as far as who would be a singles competitor. Josh Alexander has surprised the heck out of me. That hour Iron Man match, the 1 hour Iron Man match with Nick Nemeth. That was good.
I have a friend who calls Josh low card.
That's crazy, man.
Like not mid card, like low card.
Like low card, not mid card.
Except he's a perennial main eventer in TNA, so
100%. Yeah, but it's the funny
TNA
thing,
is
though.
Garbage. So you're setting a low bar.
Dude, I'm saying Josh Alexander is very, very good. He's an excellent trainer. He's been good out here for so long. Like he's a mainstay in Michigan. You know, Josh Alexander is
Midwest. He was big.
Yeah, Josh Alexander,
but him going out there, just being the walking weapon, you know, like just out there with the
such good gimmick,
the wrestling headgear.
Yeah,
it's so good. And then now he's so he's beefing with like so
kind
many
of Rick
different
Steiner
guys now. Exactly, where he goes out there, he's no nonsense. But the fact that of all of the two guys, the fact that he was the one that became NXT champion and he was the one that became the world beater, that's the part that kind of made it interesting to me, because I was like, okay, because the other guy was more marketable. He had a more marketable look.
Mm-hmm. Who was the other guy?
That's the thing about it. Like I struggle to even remember the guy's name.
Okay, because I was going to say I'm not super familiar with.
He's the Marty Jannetty of the tag team. You remember Sean, and you don't remember Marty, really, except for the goofy shit he did on the internet.
But that's the wild, but that's the wild thing.
But Josh is the Sean.
Had the more of the look.
Yeah, Josh is the Sean now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
One more thing about
wasn't it him and Ethan Page?
Yeah, it was Josh Alexander and Ethan Page.
It was. Oh my gosh.
It was Ethan Page.
We were just talking about Ethan Page. That's funny.
I would have told you that. I thought you were talking about something else. But yeah, it was.
That's silly to me.
It was Josh and Ethan. It was all It was all ego Ethan Page and Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was a good tag team.
So
I never saw.
Never mind. I was about to say both of those guys.
Yeah, they're both stars.
Monsters.
Yeah, they're both stars.
It's pretty.
Do you know what I need to see though?
TNA.
What's that?
Do you know what I need to see now?
What's that, bro?
I need to see Josh Alexander jump to NXT.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Ethan Page
and take on Ethan Page. Now that would be worth watching.
Yeah, this is the scary thing, though. I think I'm still right.
I actually would watch that.
Yeah. I think I'm still right, though. I think Josh Alexander is still the bigger star than Ethan Page.
I think so too. Yeah,
Ethan Page right now is the biggest he's ever been, and I still think Josh Alexander is bigger.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And it's funny because the fact that I forgot the more household name
he was the partner.
Ethan Page, but Josh Alexander literally made himself unforgettable. The fact that he goes out there with Moose and has fucking bangers, which has bangers,
right.
And then that hour Nick Nemeth and Nick Nemeth finishing him with the C4 spike,
so good.
His own. I like the fact that they did that. Whoever were the producers of that Iron Man match, they did such a good job.
Hats off to them.
Tropes, the two tropes that I like in Iron Man matches is that there's not enough back-to-back pins, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's always back and forth.
So, yeah, exactly. But no. They did it like Josh Alexander, like he he cheap shotted him and then C4 spiked him for a pin, picked him up, C4 spiked him again for another pin. And I was like,
Nice.
Loved it.
Trying to jump ahead, yeah.
you know, made them look like monsters. Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them came out of that looking even better.
Yeah. So one more thing just about the NXT pay-per-view. The main event, Joe Hendry and Ethan Page.
Yes.
Was very, very, very good.
It was.
Like anyone who questions Joe Hendry's wrestling should just watch the like 5 matches or whatever it has that he's had in NXT. The 3 or 5, however many it's been. Like they've all been so good.
He's
4 matches? 5 matches.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. All 5-star matches, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man.
He makes a silly move like the fall away slam look good.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not
There's just something like that guy has it.
Well, not to mention just his casual, like, hey, I'm going to jump over these ropes. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like a sideways jump and it kills. You know?
Yeah.
Because he realizes like I gotta cheese it up. I gotta do things differently to make everything about me marketable.
Right. And that's the thing too. Like
if I finish what you were saying, and then I was gonna go into a little bit of TNA before because I got like 30 minutes on my on my
okay, cool. Yeah, I was just gonna say like with that match, and this isn't something that NXT crowds are necessarily used to, but it built up in a wrestling way, you know, with an exchange of holds that weren't like super flashy and like a this is awesome type of thing. It was like an old school build to the bigger moves. And it was really well done. Like I love that kind of wrestling. And to me, I mean, that match was one of the best matches I've seen this year. The year's almost over. I mean, they killed it.
Yeah, it was good.
And then of course, good old Pete Dunne.
Good old Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
So good old Pete Dunne making sure Trick Williams is not in the title picture.
No Mercy pay-per-view.
What's that? Yeah, that was No Mercy. Such a good show. If you could go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It was so good.
Trick was the special guest referee, and that's how
he did awesome
got
too.
Mixed up with Pete.
Yeah, great job. Yeah. He did not want to count that 3, man. You know, he was, but he still did it anyway. And then, like I said, Pete Dunne came out and did his thing.
The cringy thing, right, about these rope calls. It's almost so obvious that it's like the Damian Priest one, right? He rolled Gunther closer to the ring. Rope.
I hate that so much.
And then with the Trick Williams one, right? With the Trick Williams, when he was when Hendry went to pin Ethan Page's foot leg was obviously in such a weird angle. They're like, why didn't he just hook that leg? Of course not, because you have to make it a thing. It's like they got to figure a way of making that not look so like.
It's always been like that.
It was a little cringe.
Yeah,
a little bit, man. Like that's the thing about
just a little bit.
But let me let me get a little bit of time.
Yeah, get some TNA love going. Yeah,
a little bit, right? So
I'm sorry, it's time for me to go to sleep.
He's gonna take his nap.
I'm gonna take a nap now.
It'll be the most wonderful 30-second nap you ever had. A 30-minute nap.
No, man, you were right the first time. 30 seconds.
No, it's my TNA mashup might be a little longer than that. So what was it? August 30th. It's breaking the wall. This is early September right now, but on the 30th was Emergence, and that was the last pay-per-view that came up. And then there was another episode obviously in between, which the episode was pretty good because it's leading to the next few like feuds and showing, you know, what's going to be happening. More NXT involvement, you know, like real nice, right? Emergence was good. It had I'm just run through. I'm not going to be too much on a tangent with them, you know.
Right.
Eric Young and Steve Macklin had a good old man versus old man match. You know,
old man versus old man. That's good shit.
Yeah, good old man versus old man match. You know, you got to have a good wrestling showcase, and like they were just doing good wrestling. You know, obviously the system is being broken. You know, the new rebooted system. They actually are losing all the time.
Nice.
There was another thing I was talking about factions and another it was a blog that I was going to write, but as far as factions go, this is one of those factions like Judgment Day where they take loss after loss after loss after loss, but they still have like their main guy stay this high so he's able to at some point get the title back.
Right.
But yeah, they just announced JDC, formerly known as Fandango, as a part of the system now.
Oh, nice.
Why did they change his name?
Baby.
Why did they change
I don't know why
his
they
name?
changed his name. I don't know why they changed his name.
I mean,
to be honest,
he was Dirty
JD.
Dango, right?
Yeah.
Dirty
Yeah, he
Dango
was
at first
Dirty
when he
Dango.
went back into the ending.
Yeah.
When he went back to the Indies, he was Dirty Dango, and then he changed his name to JDC. Not sure why, but they've been feuding
it's
with
initials, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So they've been feuding with the Hardys and Joe Hendry.
Hey now.
So Matt and Jeff Hardy are feuding with the system. Matt Hardy got attacked by Eddie Edwards, and I think they attacked Reba too. Alicia Edwards attacked Reba. So yeah, so they had a mixed match. Santana, Joe Hendry, and the Hardys against the system. Brian Myers, JDC, Moose, and Eddie Edwards. And Eddie Edwards actually beat Matt Hardy, which I'm seeing that Matt Hardy might just become an even more broken version after this.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not super crazy about whatever direction the Hardys go in. I think it was a gimmick because they changed the Joe Hendry theme song into like a We Believe in the Hardys, which I thought was cool. You know, it just shows you that like anything Hendry does, he's gonna make better. You know, made me actually care about a system versus the Hardys match. So
yeah.
Otherwise, you know, I think the important things to come off of that emergence, because the more important thing is the TNA that came after. But Zachary Wentz, which I think we probably saw if you watched NXT, he's the new X Division champion. They brought back Ultimate X, that match that has X like.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who won that match because I didn't see it.
So well, of course you didn't, because you sleep during TNA. But
I'm saying
no, but it's it was a 6-man or something like that, and Riley Osborne from Chase U was in it.
Oh, nice.
And he had some good spots there. You know, like they're still doing this TNA immersion where they're bringing some NXT into there, and you know, Zachary Wentz actually brought the X Division title onto NXT when him and Trey Miguel, spoiler alert, qualified for the tag championship match. Mm-hmm. So if anybody was wondering,
I have a question. Did JBL really show up there?
Yes, he did. That's what I'm going to get up to. I'm going to get to that.
I'll shut up.
I'm not exactly sure. It's all good. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, what I think is going on is that, you know, Wentz got the X Division championship. Speedball, who I call him Cornball Mike Bailey, because I think he's just I can't stand Cornball Mike Bailey. I think he's just like he's a Mortal Kombat character. That's all I see.
Which one? Which one?
Oh, Johnny Cage mixed with like if Johnny Cage was even more Johnny Cage.
If Johnny Cage is even more
exactly, I just see that. He's just even more cringy. It's like,
hey,
speaking of cringy, what's up?
One thing real quick. Zach Wentz, that destroyer off the ring apron, where he runs off the ring apron and then does the destroyer, is that a normal thing that he does, or did he just do that in that match with Wes? Because that was sick, man.
Yeah,
it's
wild.
I saw that. That was nasty.
Man, it
was amazing.
So
he actually got the rub. He actually won, which was great.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, though, I do feel like this means that Riley Osborne, who was the guy who was in that Ultimate X, I think he's the one that goes after Ridge Holland.
Okay.
Because the way he took real good bumps during that match, and he got to showcase a lot of good, which I liked about this whole NXT thing, where they're showcasing, obviously in a losing effort, but you know, like they're doing well, where they're like showcasing their talent, and they're like, okay,
Yeah, the NXTNA.
Yeah, I'll mention that in a little bit. AJ Francis from First Class, I still don't like him. No matter what
I
name
never liked him.
Never liked
him.
Sucks.
Him and Casey Navarro went for the tag championships against ABC, and they lost because Rich Swann apparently is hurt. I don't know if it's kayfabe hurt or IRL hurt, but
Rich Swann got arrested.
Exactly.
Right, the drinking thing.
Oh,
yeah, Rich Swann was drunk driving, dude.
I still don't understand how you're gonna put your world title on a woman beater, basically.
Well, there's more to that story. Yeah,
he was the champion a while ago. I think he was the one that lost it to Josh Alexander. I think
he did.
Yeah,
he did. But my point is, my point is, and kind of a question mixed in. It won't make your company look like garbage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did Steve Austin get the belt after he beat up Deborah?
No,
it
was before. Okay. I think it was before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before. But here's the thing:
Rich Swann, he's taking his lumps.
Yeah,
and I feel like there is redemption for people when it comes to Rich Swann is just he's a good.
What did
wrestler.
What happened?
He's lost now though.
What happened with him, right? When he got drunk. So he not only did he got the DUI, but not only did he get the DUI, he broke into some woman's home.
Right, he thought it was his house.
Oh my God!
He thought it was his house.
God. Yes.
Yeah, he went into somebody else's house, and he thought it was his house, and he was drunk,
and they charged him with kidnapping. Actually, that was one of the charges he had was a kidnapping charge.
Right.
Oh, that's a huge.
I remember reading that now. Yeah,
that's a huge. My word.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's even got a job. To be honest.
How long ago did
because he's that good. He's
just happened.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it just happened.
Right.
Yeah, and he still got a job after that. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he still got his job.
Well, that's probably it. Might be that this might be a foregone conclusion. It might be something where you're like, okay, he's actually out now because Casey Navarro took his place.
Right.
And I think he could probably take his place forever because Rich Swann wasn't doing much. I don't want to see First Class. I don't want to see a belt on AJ Francis ever.
Never. That sucks. He's terrible.
So after that, PCO, who is not human, he is actually undead.
He's a cyborg. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was interesting because I had no idea why Cardona and Steph Delander were beefing, but it's because PCO
is in love with her.
Steph Delander. Yeah, they're married actually.
Right.
They had an undead union or something like
that.
And
nice.
This last TNA actually it showed what's going to be happening, but it looks like Cardona against PCO for those titles again at some point.
Nice.
But JBL, who I think goes by JCL maybe now.
What? Okay.
Came in and whispered
JLA
something to Nick Nemeth after his JCL or something like that. I think I saw it. I don't know if it was a typo in what I seen, but he came in and whispered something to Nick.
Apparently, he's still signed to WWE too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably has a Legends contract or something like that.
He needs to be the other commentator on Raw.
Right.
He needs to be lead commentator.
Right.
I mean, the whole reason why he stopped doing it on SmackDown is because of the travel, and he was doing other stuff in the business world, apparently.
Dude, did you guys see where Matt Cardona said that he wants to finish his career in WWE, but he won't go back as Zack Ryder?
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah. He'll only go back as Matt Cardona. He's made too much of a name for himself.
Yeah.
By the way, if I can jump on this Matt Cardona real quick because this is very important regionally, right? So, First Wrestling, they had an event. They had an event at Bauhaus Brewery in Minneapolis, which for my food truck I've worked at countless times.
Yeah.
And randomly they said, okay, because their champion Devin Monroe, product of the Academy of Sean Davari, Ken Kennedy lore, Molly Holly, they're teachers over there. They're about a stone's throw away from where I'm living right now. Literally, I walk by that place every time. Shout out to the Academy if you want to learn wrestling. They're turning out good people.
Yeah.
Top Flight, Brandon Gore, Devin Monroe. They got some good guys, right?
Pablo,
But
you live in Minnesota?
yes, I live in Minneapolis. Yes,
Nice. I go
so
up there all the
I've been
time.
trying to follow. Yeah, I've been trying to follow the indies out here, and they're actually doing well. And that's what I'm.
Oh,
That's
I
the part
guarantee
that
it.
Minnesota's
really
always had a
so-
good
Yeah, that's why I
a
came
good
here.
scene.
Like
Yeah.
exactly.
I was
But
actually
specifically,
supposed
I'm sorry. Yep.
to go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna say, at Bauhaus, special guest appearance by Cardona. Little did we know they were put into an impromptu match where he won the title.
Okay.
And today, the 7th, Jesse Ventura was supposed to be there, but now apparently he can't be there. He was supposed to be there yesterday for us meet and greet. But it's going to be the rematch. Devin Monroe, the former champion, WrestlePalooza champion, it's called, versus the current WrestlePalooza champion, Matt Cardona, in the Mall of America.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
That's
I heard
awesome.
about that
I think
show.
the second
that they do.
they brought it back. Yeah, they brought it back. The Mall of
I
America
heard about
shows.
that show.
Yeah, the shows that they do in Mall of America look so cool.
Oh, 'cause
Someone
it's on the
always
floor
jumps
level,
off
and
that
it's
freaking
beautiful.
balcony. Like it's insane,
I know,
man.
it's
Like
sick.
yeah,
Top Flight is guaranteed to always maybe jump off that top, even though it's scary because I work about 5 minutes from Mall of America. My new apartment that I'm going to get in October is literally like 5 minutes from Mall of America. So I'm always there. Like it's my coffee place, like I always go out there.
Right on.
Dude, next time I'm
And,
up there, because my wife's aunt and uncle live up there. We go up there all the time. I should just text you and tell you I'm
Yeah.
at the Mall of America.
Yeah, check
Because
us
I'm
out.
only like 4
Check me
hours
out.
away.
Nice. But pretty much it's going to be a big match today.
That's awesome.
It'll be a nice
Yeah.
a nice event. I don't know much about the other, but I'm working a 9-hour shift at a brewery in like 30 minutes, so that's why I'm not too far from there, so that's why I can do my little TNA recap. But so all that out of the way, the last TNA that came out was actually pretty good. Eric Young got a bounce back match against Jake something.
Oh,
and
I'm
Jake
sorry,
something.
dumbest gimmick ever.
Who's?
Jake something. I mean, can't you come up with a better name than Jake something?
I like.
I
Jake
kind of
something.
like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I think Eric Young's is worse. Like he's just always a maniac.
EY.
He wears a Doctor Doom. He wears a Doctor Doom mask.
Okay, so
but
another question: when he left to go to the Fed, they killed him off. How did he come back alive in TNA? They never really did explain that.
Maybe he was struck by lightning like the Undertaker. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean,
he actually
who knows?
came back and won a title.
Nice.
Yeah,
I believe he actually came back and won the title.
He did.
But they did come up with a story, and I don't remember what story they gave. But yeah, they did actually mention that. Yeah, he died and he came back. But I will tell you something for free though. Jake something in the ring. For free.
Oh.
Jake something in the ring is awesome.
Jake something in the ring, he is dynamic.
Yeah.
His moves, he has so much.
He always has been.
I know. I got to see him
but I remember
firsthand.
him in the. I remember him in the Indies. I've seen him in the Indies, and he
go back and look up
good.
some Painkillers stuff, man. The Painkillers were such a good tag team.
Yeah.
And Jake was the big guy in that tag team, but
you said the Painkillers?
Yeah,
the Painkillers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Jacob Doyle and
they were real good.
Yeah.
I liked seeing them. But Jake something on his own is making a good name. So peep this, right? Heel turn. Jake something decimates Eric Young after the match.
Awesome.
Has a good match. Eric Young goes over, wins. They handshake, give respect.
Right.
I seen this as a coming out party for Jake something, and I think this leads to him eventually getting some sort of a hardware around his waist.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome. He's been in and out of TNA for so long, man. It's about time,
Yeah. Well, he's He's awesome. Like I said, I saw him and Matthew Justice go at it, dude. And
Yeah, I'll bet that match was
Jake
great.
It was fantastic. And like I said, Jake something, he's phenomenal in the ring. He's so good.
Yeah,
The guy's solid. He's solid.
yeah, Jake's amazing.
I do like what they're doing with the with TNA. I like their NXT, the way that they're putting them through, and like they're bringing in. So Ariana Grace, who we know to be Santino's daughter, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's the liaison between the two, or she came out last TNA and was talking about, as the liaison, I'm going to bring out somebody to fight Jordynne Grace.
Okay.
And Carmen Petrovic came out.
Oh, nice.
From NXT. Okay. Had a real good.
Is she the gymnast?
Real good match.
Is she the gymnast?
She's Sol Ruka, I think, is the gymnast, right?
Yeah, okay. She's the martial artist that was with that came out with Natalia whenever they went out when her and Lola was doing their thing.
Okay, gotcha.
She's solid, you know.
Yeah, she's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Tiny, she's super tiny, but she can go in the ring.
Okay.
Well, her against Jordynne Grace, can't tell the difference. Who's tinier, to be honest? So
who is
so.
Who was that girl that you guys were talking about that signed? I don't know nothing about.
Oh, Heather Reckless.
Heather Reckless?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get to that. Yeah.
Well, I can mention it now. I suppose Heather Reckless is said to have signed with TNA, and she is going to be doing some appearances at some point.
Yeah, and she's very good.
Not sure how early
she's very good.
Yeah, she's very. If you've seen any of her stuff, I mean, she's good. I mean, I've been watching her for a little bit. She had some good matches in Chicago. I'm not sure where she's based out of, but
well, I've seen some of her stuff that she did whenever she was in All Heel Wrestling.
Yeah,
fantastic work. She's a good worker.
Yeah, I know because she had a match with Maggie Lee in Chicago. I believe it was in Chicago, and it was really good.
Was it Bob's Fed?
I don't think so. I'm not exactly sure where they wrestled each other at, though, honestly.
Where can I just go on YouTube and check out some of her matches?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I'm sure there's a backlog.
Yeah, but she's really good. Got a lot of charisma, great look.
I do want to mention something as well. Something that happened 2 weeks ago. But I will also mention, before I mentioned the 2 weeks ago, Heather Reckless is coming into one of the strongest women's divisions of any company. Yeah. Like the last 2 years, TNA has had the strongest. And I say that like without, I've seen AEW, I've seen WWE, I've watched, TNA has had the strongest, I don't know if they call it the knockouts division anymore, but their women's scene, whether it's the tags, with Rosemary and Abaddon, or like, what used to be Caden and Katana now, where they used to be before, but Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, like they have a great women's roster over there.
Has Kiera Hogan gotten better?
I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
It looks good.
Looks great. She's got a big old butt. But
I always thought she was a good wrestler.
I thought she was okay.
Yeah, I think one thing about like TNA is they do such a good job bringing wrestlers to reach their potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did it with Lashley. They did it with Drew Galloway.
Yeah,
they're doing it with Josh Alexander.
Well, they did it with Eli Drake.
Yeah,
Eli Drake. So I mean, they're really good about.
I would even say Bully Ray. I would even say the fact that they made him believable as a
viable singles wrestler. Yeah, for sure.
So
that I agree with.
So Maggie Lee,
finisher I've ever seen in my life.
Maggie Lee and Heather Reckless feuded in AAW.
Which I haven't heard that name in a long time. I used to go to AAW all the time.
That's Danny Daniels' company, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Is that All Atlantic? Is it All Atlantic?
No.
I'm not sure what AAW stands for, but it's Danny Daniels, who used to be a ref in ECW like years and years ago.
I remember we spoke about him one time, yeah.
Yeah, it's his company.
Okay.
I think it's All American Wrestling, honestly. It's some kind of cheesy, like 80s type name. So
it's All American Wrestling. Yep, that's
All American Wrestling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because their logo is like it's AAW with like stars on it, I think, or something like that. Or one of their logos.
If I could also say, Aiden English is a better announcer than most of the people they have in WWE.
Sound like
then a wrestler? Oh.
No, as a
oh god, he was an amazing wrestler.
He was very good with Simon Gotch.
His talking partner there from the Vaudevillains showed up.
Yeah.
Where the hell is he? Did he just was that like a
Oh,
one?
he got he got a little no, Simon Gotch got he got looked at and blackballed, I would imagine. I think.
Yeah.
Like they've spoken very badly about his like almost like a Drew Gulak situation.
Oh, really?
Really? I
didn't
know that.
Like he's had some admonishing. Like he's been shown to be a bit rough to work with. So
I know he's kind of a jerk. He's very opinionated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it. Like you gotta be careful with stuff like that because like you'll get chewed out. Get your receipts. Some people, remember when Enzo got the finisher from everybody in 205 Live one time because they had to show him.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Well, do you remember the Public Enemy thing?
Yeah, I remember that.
Public Enemy got signed to the WWF, and there was a battle royal, and they wouldn't let them in the ring. Nope. Every time they tried to get in the ring, everybody rushed the ropes and beat the crap out of them.
I actually remember that. That was amazing.
Yeah. Supposedly that was a shoot, dude. Like Public Enemy thought they were getting in the match, and
that's just like
the whole roster just beat them up every time they tried to get in the ring.
I don't know. That's just like the one time it was an NWA TV taping, Keith. It was back in '87 when there was two jobbers wrestling Sid and Taker, I believe.
No, it was Sid and Spivey. And Spivey beat the living crap out of that guy.
Yeah, because he kept powerbombing them and they were no-selling them. I wasn't sure if it was Spivey or if it was...
Yeah, Spivey beat the guy up. Apparently it was in his hometown. And he was told that he was going to like go over in a dark match or some weird crap like that. And so he went out there thinking he was going to go over in a dark match, and instead he wrestled Danny Spivey and Sid Vicious as enhancement talent.
Yeah,
and he no-sold something, and Spivey punched him in the face.
He kept no-selling the power bomb.
Yeah, guy's name is Mike Williams. If you want to look up Mike Williams versus the Skyscrapers, it's pretty brutal.
I thought
it's pretty brutal.
I did watch that. That was brutal.
Like the other day,
it's brutal. Spivey beat the crap out of that guy, man.
He did. I saw.
Yeah, Sid didn't do much. Yeah, Sid didn't do much, but Spivey beat his ass.
Spivey did beat his ass.
Yeah.
Oh, did we also? I don't know if we've mentioned, but an RIP to
Sid. Yeah.
Sid.
The Psycho Sid Udy.
Sid Justice.
Sid Vicious.
So many names, but he very memorable. He was I remember him when I was
big
young.
Personality.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He had a few names, but I don't think anybody will have as many names as the Big Boss Man.
Good old Ray Traylor.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Oh, if I could, before in closing for me at least, because I do have a few minutes, I want to mention. So even though like not too long ago, literally like a week ago, there was a Emergence pay-per-view. Yeah. Victory Road is happening on my birthday.
Nice.
Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Ooh. Friday the 13th, amen.
Friday the 13th. It only happens once every 10 years. Me and my father have the same birthday. And it's on Friday the 13th this year. I was not able to go to New York. I wasn't able to get time off. But
why are you going to New York?
That's where he's from.
It was my birthday. I'm from there. I wanted to see my brother. My brother wanted to do something. I'm from the Bronx.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You know me and Keith are
Kingsbridge.
from upstate New York, right?
Yeah, he mentioned, I spent a lot of time in upstate. I used to play baseball out there as well.
Nice.
But so I'm going to hopefully catch Victory Road and also UFC 306 306, I think, is the
Seven.
next night on the 14th.
307.
307?
Yeah,
Okay.
307.
Because
O'Malley, Valishvili. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I hate UFC, but the only reason I know about it is because they're talking about moving the WWE pay-per-view up earlier so it doesn't clash for 307. That's the only reason why I know about it.
That's why they did Victory Road the way they did. It's on Friday instead of Saturday.
Yeah,
instead
of Saturday. Makes sense.
Let me mention. There's 4 already mentioned. There's 4 matches, 3 title matches, and then 1 big match that was a. So I'll preface them when they come up, but World Tag Team Championships, the system represented by Bad Wolf Eddie Edwards and Forever Jobber Brian Myers.
Nah,
Forever Jobber. He was 0-200 in WWE. That was good shit.
Exactly.
I love that shit.
He was crazy. But Brian Myers, I like him. He's doing well, but he's one of those other JD McDonoughs on the system that'll always lose. So the system being those 2 members against ABC, which is Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
I was about to say another bad creation.
Exactly. another sub genre of the Bullet Club.
Exactly.
But they're facing each other.
As my guy called it, the C team of the Bullet Club.
C team, go go go! No, I see ABC retaining. I don't. There's Eddie Edwards already got the victory last pay-per-view with the Boston Knee Party on Matt Hardy, so he doesn't need another win. They already won. They won their mixed match was Moose and JDC with some help. They beat, I think they beat Hendry and Santana. Okay. But yeah, they don't need a win there. I think they lose to ABC. Militia, which is Alicia, the first lady of the system, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. Masha's not fighting any guys this
she's a beast.
Yeah, she is a beast. Masha Slamovich, I've seen her fight men and have real good matches. Oh yeah, but they're facing Spitfire, which is Jody Threat and Danny Luna.
Hey now,
I don't imagine
Jody Threat's awesome.
Yeah, they are good, but Alicia's hurt because she had a neck brace on when she was talking, and she was getting some heat. She was getting the treatment. So we'll see. Maybe they get somebody to replace her. Maybe not. Like that's the whole gimmick about it. Maybe Masha against both of them.
Right.
She can do it.
Maybe.
Did she get Dom heat?
Little bit,
one
yeah.
Gets Dom heat but Dom, man.
Nobody gets the level of Dom heat, but she was definitely getting booed as soon as she held the mic. She was like,
I like Alicia Edwards. I used to watch her on the Indies in New England. Like she's gonna run forever.
Yeah, she's
a good wrestler, man.
I actually like her too, and I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling, but and that's no offense to women's wrestlers, but I've had a couple bad, unfortunate experiences in Wisconsin. So,
we've all seen one too many bra and panties matches that didn't go well.
Yeah.
So we understand.
Well, no, this was absolutely horrifying. This is worse than me not liking TNA. I mean,
that'll be an episode in itself.
Yeah,
I thought my life was going to be over.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So okay, the third match that's mentioned is that rematch. Because on TNA, on Impact, Mike Cornball Bailey enacted his rematch clause. Yeah, it's not Speedball; he's Cornball because I can't stand the guy from the mouthpiece that he wears or the mouth guard that he wears to the freaking headband. The Spanish Fly. No, thank you. So Zachary Wentz against Mike Bailey. Looking like Mike Bailey is going to be the heel in this.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Johnny Cage against Woogity on his redemption journey. I like his redemption arc. Zachary Wentz, possibly becoming the NXT Tag Champions? Question mark.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
because he qualified with Trey Miguel. But Wesley, I see Wesley messing them up and then him facing Trey Miguel because he never got to face Trey Miguel. And I do
Right.
like Trey Miguel. I thought he was a great X Division champion when he was.
Yeah,
And
Trey
he
Miguel's
really,
good.
like,
Yeah.
he held it down considering Zachary Wentz left and did what he did, and then Wesley also left and did what he did. So
Right.
and then as of right now, the because Josh Alexander has been on a rampage. He attacked Kushida after Kushida versus Laredo Kid. He attacked both of them actually, and then impromptu had a match with Kushida where he absolutely decimated him.
Interesting.
But Josh Alexander against everybody's favorite superhero. If I say his name, he will appear, so I won't say it. So it'll be the walking weapon against the walking meme.
The walking
And-
meme. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty much what he is.
Meme.
He's a viral sensation, even though the song came out 5 years ago.
Right.
did.
People. He comes out with songs every now and then.
Yeah.
He did taunt Brian Myers with the whole edges B word
Bitch thing.
song.
Ah,
The edges
Edge
bitch
it.
thing.
It just-
The edge
That's awesome.
yeah. But that's right now. That's what Victory Road looks like. It's subject to change, I imagine. There's going to be a whole nother match beforehand. And when we get back for this next Saturday, or this next taping, I'll mention the results. But yeah, as of right now, that's the main event. Nick Nemeth against Moose.
Hey now.
Ooh.
So those are the 5 so far.
Cool.
Main event being that Moose already, after they won on an emergence, he already mentioned that he's going after his title again. And I think Moose and Nick Nemeth will have an amazing time. And I also believe that at some point, Moose against all ego Ethan Page.
Yeah.
It's happening 100%. Also, I'm sorry, Ethan Page, for not remembering that you were in We of the North, considering I was in the North while you guys were going, and I'll always look out for Minnesota, wrestling, and when I'm back next week, I will talk about the TNA Victory Road, and I'll talk about the
Mall of America
match that happened
Awesome.
today.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yes,
boys, I will leave the WWE stuff to you.
All right.
I have a 9-hour shift in a brick oven.
Enjoy yourself, man.
Always
fun,
good to
brother.
talk to you, boys. Nice to
Yes.
talk to you, Chad.
Nice to talk to you
Peace
too.
out.
Don't
All
work
right.
too hard.
Yeah.
Women,
Don't.
wrestling, and work. That's all we do.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
All right, man.
All right, later,
Bye,
brother.
Alexa.
All right, later.
Peace.
All right. So before we wrap up, I did want to mention, speaking of women's wrestling, I watched some NWA this week,
Nice.
and they really do a good job of highlighting their women. The show that I watched had 4 matches on it, and 3 of them featured women wrestlers, and they were all featured strong. And the one thing that I still don't like about the NWA is they still don't have clear good guys and bad guys. Like, that's kind of irritating. Like, everybody's sort of it's cool that they all just fight each other or whatever, but it's hard to get behind it when every match is tweeners. That's just not my thing. But
last night, the show that I went to, it had some NWA talent there. AJ Kanza.
Okay, cool.
There. And
awesome.
What's his name? Trying to remember it. I can't remember it right now. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah.
It'll come to you when we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you at? Were you ACW? Was that where you were
I was at Appalachian Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool. Like I said, I know the guy's name, and it's not.
Man, I've been doing indie showing forever, but maybe that's because the only one around me is Brew City Wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Right on.
I know Kansas lost. I could not think that guy's name at all. And I know you probably know him, Keith.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
But yeah, it was they had like 8 matches.
Okay.
And the first one was a continuation from where I went to Pro Wrestling Conquest.
Okay.
And it was Bishop Baylor taking on Josh Williams, the guy that smack talked my kid, so I kind of smack talked him back a little bit. So, but anyways, they ended up winning because, of course, they cheated to win. So Baylor lost. Pretty good wrestling. It was free event.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yep. And I got this. I don't know if it'll let me show you, but I got this really cool poster that they was giving out. Oh, handsome Nick Hamrick was there.
Oh, cool.
He's another
Nice.
NWA talent.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good show.
Cool. Oh, wow. So was this the Slam Plaza 3? Is that
Yeah.
what you were?
Yep, Slam Plaza 3, yeah.
So it looks like there was like 3 different promotions that were involved in it.
Yeah, it was Pro Wrestling Conquest, Appalachian, and
Regatta.
Yeah, Regatta Pro.
Yeah. Regatta. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty good little show.
Oh wow, Pro Wrestling Power Slam Pro too. So there was actually an All-Star Wrestling. There was a few different companies involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there was 5 companies involved. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
That's cool.
Was it like a big show or something?
It was. It was actually a really big show. And I couldn't believe like they just free and let you go out and check it out. And
heck yeah.
It was good stuff.
That's awesome. Was it part of some kind of a like fair type thing or festival or?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too.
You know, not really, because usually they do our regatta like in early, like around 4th of July. We usually get our regatta, so it's like a big old river fest, pretty much.
Right.
But no, it was just I guess it's just the way that it fell in line. That's whenever they were doing it, so it's rather cool. Good.
That's really cool. It's like you couldn't get that many companies in Indiana to work together.
No, you couldn't do that shit in Wisconsin either.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive that they got 5 companies to freaking put on a show together.
Bastion was there.
Okay.
Yep, Master of the Canvas.
Nice.
Wait, that's not true. After all the drama with Frankie and the Blizzard Brawl dude and Armani. They all did
Hero.
Yeah, him. They all did a big show down in South Milwaukee to honor Crusher, and now I guess they do combined shows once in a blue moon.
Oh, cool. Right on. Right, you still there, brother? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to look up something.
Oh, okay.
But it's
were you trying to figure out who the other NWA guy was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave up. I looked real quick, man, and then I just was like, well, I'm not seeing it right away. So
I went through their roster and I didn't see him on there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But he's a big dude.
Yeah?
I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Man.
Yeah, it's really going to bother me until I figure it out, too.
Yeah, tell us next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, it was a pretty good show, and I had a lot of fun. My kids had a lot of fun.
Nice. Awesome.
So my son, he's starting to get into wrestling a little bit more, so.
That's cool, man. I mean, geez, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, and Pablo's hopped out. So you guys want to just go ahead and wrap things up?
Yeah, unless you want to talk about last night's SmackDown. I
haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I don't even know what happened, man. Honestly, if either one of you guys have any idea,
I don't have cable, so
yeah, I watched the edited version on Hulu, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So,
right.
Unfortunately.
I missed a good bit of that show. I only got to catch the last match pretty much. Oh, I got to watch LA Knight beat up uh, he BFT'd Carmelo and Andrade.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So who was Kevin Owens beating up?
Oh, Theory and Waller.
He beat up both of them?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, he took them both out. Yeah.
That sucks. When I first saw the picture, I thought it might have been LA Knight, and I was like, "Oh, dang, Kevin Owens turned heel already." I was like, I thought he was going after the U.S. title. Everybody's got the same damn haircut, man.
Dude,
Like,
so
you know?
Bloodline defeated DIY and the Street Profits in the main event.
Oh, okay.
Jacob Fatu, game changer, man.
Is he
Just he's
back?
a menace. Yeah.
Good for him, man. I'm glad he didn't have to take that much time off.
He freaking destroyed everybody.
I just heard last night. And I didn't watch it, but I heard that he was going to turn soon.
Fatu?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They need him.
Me either.
They
need him, man.
That's Solo's number one right there.
Yeah, if they don't have Jacob Fatu, they're just they need Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
that would be silly.
They need Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, he's an absolute menace. He came in there and just wore them boys out.
That's crazy, man.
They didn't stand a chance once he got into the ring.
Right. Yeah, he's so good. So I mean, it's saying the same things over and over again. Man, he's just so good. Like, yeah.
I mean,
you watch him. You can just go. You can just flat out go, man.
And he don't miss a beat.
Right.
Like that nasty Samoan drop that he does.
Yeah.
That thing is unreal. Like, he could just finish somebody with that.
Right.
But it was pretty good. That match I did get to watch. It was pretty good. So
right on.
And then at the end, Solo, he got the pin because that's the way Fatu wants it.
Right.
He does all the dirty work.
Solo's going to go in and get the pin, dude. He's
He double spiked. Was it Montez? I think it was Montez. He double spiked.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and got the 3 counts. So
I know we touched on Raw a little bit, but what do you guys think about Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest? Do you think that's going to be a permanent thing, or do you think they just did that for the match?
I think we'll see it a couple times. I don't think they'll make anything big out of it.
I didn't even see it, but I heard about it, and
they could make a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Sell a lot of merch.
Yeah, they could.
Do you think that when Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes got drunk and walked into that press conference, that they knew that Jey Uso was going to have a catchphrase for the rest of his freaking life?
Right?
No.
Man.
I'll tell you a funny story though.
Yeah,
last night,
I hate that damn catchphrase though. That is going.
It's silly, dude, because what he means, it means to throw something.
Yeah.
So they're going deep.
So my thing is, silly. Why were they going to get sued over it? Because he was going to drop it at first.
Because Fortnite was going to sue them.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So funny thing, we get down to the show last night.
Yeah.
And they're playing some wrestling music.
Right.
And then we're sitting down, they're finishing up one song. I forget which one it was. But then they play Jey Uso.
Right.
They played his entrance, and you should have seen everybody.
Were they all yeeting?
They were everybody was yeeting.
See,
it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. That's the thing that I think people need to step back and think about. Like, a lot of wrestling is crowd interaction.
Yep.
So that's why something like Yeet works.
Yep.
And a lot of wrestling fans are little kids, which is another reason why something like Yeet works.
Yep.
It's something simple that everybody can say. I mean, man, what was it? Sting started using Whoop There It Is about 10 years after tag team was a thing.
I know, right?
No one gave a crap about that song anymore.
No.
But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people just started saying "Whoop, there it is" when Sting wrestled, and they would chant it the whole time he wrestled.
I remember that shit.
Yeah, so it's just like you latch onto something simple like that the crowd can say, and it just makes people feel like they're a part of the whole deal. It's just like, what? You know?
Oh, yeah.
People
And it's
still say
simple
what?
stuff. Simple.
Yeah.
Things
So,
that are
I
so
mean,
just.
I don't necessarily like it. I think it's kind of silly
I
because
think it's stupid, especially when that idiot McAfee gets up on the desk.
well, what I think is silly about it is the meaning of it. It means to throw something. If you yeet something, it means you threw it. So to me, it's just like they're saying throw, basically. And it's just kind of weird how because Jey Uso, got drunk and said it repeatedly during a press conference, now it's just kind of an all-purpose word for Jey Uso.
Yeah. I think
it means yes, it means no, it means hi. It means,
So how did they get out of Fortnite suing them though?
I think that they figured out that it's just not a word that they can sue them over.
Right. It's really, really hard to sue people over words, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you have to prove that you invented it,
although WWE sent Bryan Danielson legal papers this week for filing. Yes.
Oh, poor
yes,
Bryan Danielson.
Did. They was like, no.
That sucks.
So, I mean, and look what Flair did. Flair sued Becky and the WWE for using the man,
which is silly.
I just thought that was so stupid.
Yeah. What about Stan Stasiak?
Yeah.
And Ric Flair's nickname was never the man. It was just part of one of his catchphrases.
Exactly.
Right. It wasn't his nickname. To be the man, you got to beat the man. That's like,
Yeah.
That'd be like if someone started calling himself the best and Bret Hart sued them.
Yeah.
His nickname was never the best. It was just part of his catchphrase.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I understand sometimes. Yeah, they get too happy.
Yeah, sure. I don't know, man. This was fun.
Yeah.
We went at it for a long time.
Honestly, somebody told me we were starting at 11, so that's why I got up at 10.
All right.
Nice first show.
Yeah, it was good times, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's only gonna get better.
Definitely.
Because we're gonna start talking about bringing in guests.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we'll have some guests on and do the old school shows and stuff like that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So
we could, old school shows I think will be fun.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. You guys want to wrap up?
Yeah, we can do that. All
right, cool. So everybody, thank you so much for checking out the Roundtable Wrestling Podcast.
Yes.
For Pablo, who is off at the Mall of America, Brent, Chad, I'm Keith. Let's turn this into a movement, man.
Absolutely.
We'll talk to y'all next week.